So today we're going to learn on this interesting topic, blast furnace steelmaking. So in this first lecture we're going to learn on introduction and equipment. So in this the process of a blast furnace is about chemically reducing and physically converting iron oxides into liquid iron called hot metal. So in this particular process there will be a dominating iron making route for providing the raw materials for steel making. Okay, it's an introduction, so let us go ahead. So guys, there will be raw material here. This raw material will take coal, and the coal will be given to coke-on batteries, and here we will have coke-on batteries and mechanism, and here there will be fines. Fines can be converted as sinters and pellets. So this this area is gonna be sinter plant, and this is gonna be pellet plant. Okay. So from centers, there we will have from fines by agglomerating we will have centers, and also we'll also have pellets, and from these three there will be bud handle session BHS, and we will take them into blast furnace. Okay, this is going to be blast furnace. So here we will have the entire session. Okay, from blast furnace we will take the hot metal into SMS, that is called steel making shop. Here there will be BOF, basic oxygen furnace, and from basic oxygen furnace this is called continuous casting. Okay, this is also called as CCS, continuous casting shop, CCM, continuous casting machine. From then ultimately it goes to mills. Okay, this is how the entire overview is. So now let's gonna learn on this called equipment. So equipment is classified mainly into two types. One is gonna be main components, and another is going to be auxiliary components, auxiliary equipment. So main components, one which is in interior, and the auxiliary equipment, one which is outside this blast furnace. Okay, that's good. Now let us see on blast furnace main components. We're going to see from throat till the charging system. Alright, let's see. This is the throat region. So where there is opening from top, there where the feed enters, and this is the shaft region. The shaft, the temperature is around 400 to 1000 degrees centigrade, and coming little down it's called belly region. So the belly is shaped like a straight cylinder. So we cover it with a high quality fire clay bricks, and the temperature ranges is around 1000 to 1200 degrees centigrade. And this is the bush region. The bush tapers inwards toward its bottom, and it is located immediately under the belly. So it is usually lined with high fire clay brick, and also the temperature is around 1100 degrees centigrade to 1450 degrees centigrade. And the region we are seeing here is the earth region. So earth is at the bottom of the furnace, consists of molten iron with layer of slag on top, and also the earth is lined with a heavy fire clay brick and the carbon type refractor brick. So this is called the bustle pipe. So where the task of this system is to provide the tubes with hot air. And what we see here is a tube. Depending on the size of the furnace, the size wall of the hearth is radially filled with some 20 to 40 water cooled copper nozzles called tubes, which are used to inject the hot blast into the furnace from the hot stoves through the hot blast main and bustle pipes. Tap hole will be here. Sorry, so it's gonna be here. The tap hole, which helps in the molten metal is tapped through the tap hole, iron notch. A hole is drilled by the tap hole, so it's drilled here through the refractor clay plug, allowing liquid iron and slag to flow down through a skimmer opening, separating the iron and slag. Larger blast furnace may have as many as 4 tap holes, so that could be here, 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 and 2 cast houses. And there also, once the pig iron and slag have been tapped, the tap hole is again plugged with refractory clay using a mud gun mass. Okay, see, this is how the tap hole works. So the two types of charging system, one is gonna be the double bells charging system, and the other gonna be bellless stop system. So double bell system, which is used old days, like engineers, they used to use the raw materials or charged in the blast furnace through two stages that are conical bells, which seal the gases and distribute the raw materials evenly around the circumference of the furnace throat. So it is literally hard because we need, if we wanna distribute the raw materials, it is hard. So nowadays we are using this sort of bellless top system. It is really simple right now. So the chute can be rotated in 360 degree centigrade. So bell, there is no need of bells, and it uses two to three airlocks type hoopers that discharge raw materials onto the rotating chute, which can charge angles, allowing more flexibility in precise material replacement into the furnace. So till now we saw on the main components. Now we're going to see on auxiliary equipment. We will see here belt conveyors, hoopers, PCI, polarized coal injection, and blowers for feeding the blast, and also the hot stove for heating the blast, and blast furnace, top pressure recovery turbine, and equipment for dust removal and recovery, and the chute region. Okay, let's go ahead. So by seeing this auxiliary equipment, alright guys, let's see about this thing which is called the hooper, and this is called the charging conveyor. So the raw materials may be stored temporarily in the stock house where the furnace burden is prepared, though it's called as BHS, burden handle session, which is in steel plants. So each type of ore, pellet, sinter, coke, and limestone is dumped into the separate storage bins. Okay, so the various raw materials are weighed according to a certain recipe designed to yield the desired hot metal and slag chemistry. The weighed materials are then transported by using this conveyor belt to the charging conveyor, and this is called the downcomer. So the gas is here, the blast furnace gas is hot. Okay, it's really too hot, and because it's hot and it contains a large amount of fine particles to remove, and this comes out here. To remove these fine particles, we use this downcomer, which is used as a dust catcher and also a wet cleaning system. Okay, let's go ahead by seeing this. Here we call this region as gas cleaning plant, so we also call as gas cleaner. So we can see it clearly here, right? So the dust catcher or dust cleaner or cyclone, this equipment removes dust from exhaust gases which is coming from the blast furnace before burning them into the hot stove, which we use here, a combustion chamber. Coarse particles are settled down, accumulated, and dumped into a railroad car, and here it will be dumped from here, and we will remove it by truck or anything for the disposal. Okay, so what happens here, the gas then flows through a scrubber, okay, a venturi scrubber, which removes the finer particles, and finally we will be having a gas cooler where water sprays reduce the temperature, and then of the hot but clean gas, it will be, the gas will be hot but it will be clean. So some modern furnaces are equipped with this sort of combined scrubber and cooling equipment unit. So the clean and the cooled gas is now ready for burning. Okay, so we can again reuse this gas. Okay, if we have some sort of a cold main blast, we will enter here, and the large volumes of air are generated from a turbo blower and flow through the cold blast main to the hot stove. Okay, we'll be going from here. So the cold blast then enters the stove and that have been previously heated. All this is preheated, right? So and the heat stored in the refractory brick inside the stove is transferred in the cold blast to the hot blast from hot blast. Okay, so let's see what exactly this hot blast, this hot stoves are. So this is the region which we call as hot stoves. So the mechanism of the hot stoves is really important for us to know. So this is how it works. We will see within the next slide about the hot stoves. But as of now, we will be seeing the above thing. See, the air blown from the blast furnace is preheated. Okay, it's around there'll be preheating of 1000 to 1250 degrees centigrade in the hot blast stoves. The stoves work in cycles. Okay, the refractory bricks in the stove are heated. So the first step is the refractory bricks gonna be heated, and what's gonna happen next? So we had heated it. Okay, I'm gonna use my pen. Okay, we're gonna heat it, and then in the stove and by burners using blast furnace gas. We already have this is blast furnace gas, so we can use this gas. And then the uh, coal blast, okay, which already spoke before. The coal blast from the bottom is blown in, and the heat stored in the bricks. Okay, there will be checker bricks here. Okay, this checker bricks helps in the transferring of the gas. So the hot blast is delivered to the blast furnace via this channel. Okay, this is the blast main, buzzer pipe, and the tube. Okay, from here it will be going inside here. Okay, this is the buzzer main, and from buzzer main it will be tube here, tube, and there will be hot blast into the blast furnace. So we'll see how it's gonna really work. So this is guys, this is the hot blast main. So the gas from here we're gonna clean it and we're gonna send it to the hot stoves, and the cold blast also is in here. So the hot blast main, so the hot air is going to be going from here to the vessel pipe. So the heated air from the hot stove is led back to the furnace, which is called hot blast main. There is a mixture line connecting the cold blast main to the hot blast main that is equipped with the valve used to control the blast temperature. So is and is keep constant around 870 to 1260 degrees centigrade, and depending on the stove designing and their condition, the hot blast is sent. And finally there will be here is called as tap hole. Okay, so by the tap hole we'll be having here the hot metal which will be poured into the torpedo cars. Okay, the hot metal is conveyed into the torpedo cars, is converted into torpedo ladles or cores which we using here. Okay, is positioned under the cast house waiting to be transported to the steel making plant for the BOF for further processing. The torpedo core commonly has a cylindrical shape with conical ends and are filled or emptied through an oval shaped opening, and this is the torpedo cores is used so that there will be least heat losses. Okay, and the left one we got the slag. Okay, this is the thing. So torpedo cores take the hot metal, and the slag car collects the slag for disposal. So this is all about the entire process of the, okay, entire process of the equipment processing, how it's going to work, and entire auxiliary equipment. So let us see. Alright, so let us learn on this thing called the stars. So as I said you earlier, we're going to learn a little bit on stars. The star is the first heated, okay, by burning gas and combustion air within the chambers and allowing the heat to be absorbed into the brickwork or checkerwork. So we will be having here brickwork or checkerwork. So the checkerwork or the brickwork will be heated, preheated. So this model is called on gas model. Okay, when sufficient heat has been absorbed, the stove is put on blast. In this model, no combustion takes place, but the hot blast air is forced through the stove and absorbs the heat to become hot blast. This is then mixed with the cold blast to bring it to the right temperature, and then we, as we see here, will be cold blast from down bottom. So and also then the force it in the blast furnace via the tubes. Okay, there will be hot blast main, and there'll be buzzer pipe, and there will be tubes here. And it is quite common to have three or more staff, four staffs, so that, okay, we'll be having four or three or four staffs. Because why? Because so that at any time one stove is on blast while the others are on gas. Okay, are boxed. So a boxed stove or a on gas stove has been heated up to temperatures and sealed so that it is ready to go on blast. So if one stove is done for repair, it is possible to use the other two. Okay, so that's the reason we will have almost three to four stoves. If one stove is checkerverse or to be repaired, we use the other. So this is how the stove works. So in this lecture we'll learn of the role of blast furnace in steaming process. In addition, we also have the general idea of the blast furnace layout, and furthermore we were introduced about the different parts of the blast furnace, about the main and auxiliary components,